Hello everyone! Are you furry friends ready for a good creepypasta story based on a real event/tradition that swept through our country from 1998 to 2017? Obviously you know what I'm talking about. The roast game. This is a fact of life for David. Let me begin with telling you all about little David. David is the protagonist character in All Dogs Go to Heaven 2, and he was in these 4 episodes of All Dogs Go to Heaven, the series. The first one, called An Inch in Time, which aired on November 16, 1996. It's when David receives a voice recorder from his dad on his birthday, as Charlie and Itchy bump into it, with him on the streets the following morning. However, David shows off his new gadget in school, thus receiving detention. Charlie wants to give David a great birthday gift using David's voice recorder. Charlie creates an impromptu David lookalike with the voice recorder repeatedly saying mathematical equations and sneaks him out of detention. The second one, called Magical Misery Tour, which aired on October 11, 1997. It's when Charlie uses David's cloning machine to clone himself so he could have everything to do, including a date with Sasha, done at once. The third one, called Misguidance, which aired on October 18, 1997. It's when David has a minor role. He finds Charlie in the schoolyard and his friendly female classmate Alex in despair because she is looking for her science notes. After this scene, he is no longer seen until the big test. And finally, last but not least, the 4th episode, called History of All Dogs, which aired on August 21st, 1998. It's when David has to write a report on dogs, though he finds them boring. So, as he is tired, Charlie, with help from Itchy, makes up a story about how dogs save the world. Although he finishes, it turns out it is Saturday. So David decided to write his own report. David is the fun-loving, adventurous, brave, kind, and intelligent kid who's got the great magic tricks since he was 6 years old. He lost his biological mother. He has a stepmother due to his father remarrying and is disappointed about it. So he flees home. Now living under the care of Sasha LaFleur, he has an interest in magic and earning money from Cannery Square, Easy Street, a tourist attraction spot where people perform. In All Dogs Go to Heaven 2, after Charlie and Itchy meet Sasha in the dog bar, she takes them out back where she introduces them to a little boy she has named David, who has run away from home. When Charlie asks David why he ran away from home, he said it was because his mom died, and that his dad has married again, and now his dad and stepmother are gonna have a baby together, and he believes that they won't love him anymore. He also tells Charlie that he hopes to do magic tricks and become famous, and when he finds out that Charlie is an angel, he believes that Charlie is his guardian angel. Charlie offers to help David be a successful magician if David helps him retrieve the horn, which is in the San Francisco police station, which David agrees to. Now, what the hell happened to such an innocent boy when he was 10 years old? Well, I will tell you when it happens in this story. Let's begin the story, shall we? We start our story in the humble yet busybody place called San Francisco. On December 11th, 1998, after having to go to bed early for misbehaving at the dinner table, it's about 14 days until Christmas, as he is always wondering if his biological mother can come back to life again for Christmas, so he can live with her for the rest of his life. He's having a dream, a very special dream. Now this is where we begin our story. As his parents' home was decorated for the holidays in the dark, sleeping under his blanket, David was having a dream. He dreamed that he was in Santa's log cabin, and someone behind him yelled, "David, you're next!" Then David walks up to Santa Claus, and then Santa Claus goes, "Hello there, David. Sit on that chair. Well, I suppose a nice little boy like you have a gleam in your eye, and you want to ask me for something. Please tell me, what do you want for Christmas?" And David responded with, "Oh, Santa, I want to see my biological mother for Christmas. I truly miss her, and seeing her is something that is worth my entire life." Santa responds, "Oh, dear David, your wish is my command." Then, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, David's biological mother pops up and says, "David, I am here." David freaks out and says, "It's Christmas already?" And Santa's like, "Well, time flies, Merry Christmas." And David said, "Wait, Mom, where'd you go?" And Santa replied, "It's not time yet." "Don't be silly. She just came to say hi." Then David said, "Oh, sorry." Then Santa said, "It's fine." And then David's alarm clock went off at 7 a.m. As he woke up, he sighed. Then he went, "Ugh." Then he snoozes the alarm clock. Charlie comes in by telling him, "Morning, David." David replies to Charlie, "Good morning, Charlie." Then Charlie replies back, "It's time to get ready for school. I know you really have a rough time with your father and your stepmother, but this Christmas you'll see your biological mother again." David says, "I hope." Charlie Barkin laughs. Then David walks out the door, just in time for the school bus to pick up David. Then Charlie said, "Bye, David. See you around 2:30. Charlie walks back into the house, and Sasha LaFleur wakes up, and then she stretches. "Ugh. Good morning, Charlie." Charlie Barkin replies, "Morning, Sasha." Sasha asks, "David's off to school, right?" Charlie Barkin replies, "Yes." Then Sasha replied with, "What did David want for Christmas again?" Then Charlie Barkin said, "He said he wanted to see his biological mother for Christmas." Then Sasha replied back with, "I thought his biological mother was dead a long time ago." Charlie replies, "She is." Sasha then replies back to Charlie with, "Wait until I tell his stepmother." Then Charlie said, "Sasha, no." Then Sasha LaFleur responded with, "How about wishing for someone that's actually here, not someone that's dead or non-existent?" Charlie says, "Remember, he's just a little kid." Sasha LaFleur replied back with, "Okay, never mind." Later in the evening, a couple or so hours after David came back from school, says, "Hey, Charlie." Charlie Barkin replied with, "Yes, David?" David said, "I told my whole class what I wanted for Christmas." Charlie Barkin responded with, "And?" David said, "My teacher had a very similar wish." Charlie Barkin asked, "So what? You can't bring her back to life, David. You just have to pray to the Lord to do such thing. It's getting closer to Christmas after all." Then David replies with, "Okay." Charlie says, "But you can dream, can't you?" Then David says, "Yeah." Charlie replies back with, "Well then believe." David said, "Alrighty." Then Charlie replied back, "Good night, David." Then David responded back with, "Good night, Charlie." And Sasha also told Charlie, "Good night." And the evening fades into night. Now it's December 14th, 1998, up in Dog Heaven. Charlie and Sasha head up there to meet up with Annabelle and talk to each other about what David should do in order to be able to see David's biological mother again. As Charlie and Sasha walk past the pearly gates looking for Annabelle, "Annabelle? Annabelle, are you there?" Annabelle responds with, "Oh, shh. What do you guys want?" Charlie replied with, "We want to talk to you about David." Then Annabelle said, "What about him?" Sasha replies with, "He has a Christmas wish." Annabelle says, "Ooh, what kind of Christmas wish?" Then Charlie responds, "David wants to see his biological mother again. That's the Christmas wish." Annabelle's like, "What? He's not supposed to see her." She is dead forever. Did you two remember me telling him not to ask to see his biological mother for Christmas? Charlie replied with, I don't remember. Then Sasha said, me neither. Then Annabelle continued on, well, let me help you. Tell David that if he should wish for something else, if he only wants to see his biological mother again for Christmas, he would have to pray to God that she comes, because if she doesn't come, Christmas will never come and no one will be merry. I want kids to believe in their imagination. No one will see Santa if they don't. No one will get any presents under their trees if they just don't believe. No one will get to see Rudolph if they don't believe. It's called having faith. Here, let me get my Bible out to read some of my personal favorite verses. Then Annabelle brings out her Bible and reads John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. Then she reads another verse, Ephesians 2:8-9. For by grace you have been saved through faith. Then Sasha asked, but what if children have the right to think differently? Annabelle shunned her second thought. But children can't think for themselves. They're not adults. Either David must believe in Christmas, or there is no Christmas, there's no God. So please do your best to maintain the spirit of Christmas, and God bless the both of you. And take Itchy with you. After all, he is your worthy companion. Then Charlie said, okay. Itchy's like, what's wrong with that Christmas wish? Annabelle replied back with, you can't revive the dead unless if you pray. Itchy says, okay, I'm going with Charlie. Bye, Annabelle. Then Charlie and Sasha said, bye, Annabelle. Now with Charlie, Itchy, and Sasha flying like angels slowly back down to Earth in San Francisco, they have something to tell David. Something that Annabelle wanted to tell him, or have tried to tell them to tell David before. Then Charlie and Sasha woke David up out of his bed. And then David said, yes, Charlie and Sasha? Charlie asked, are you still believing in God? David replied with, yes. Charlie asked, have you been praying like I told you to? David then said, yes. Then Charlie said, good. You should keep on doing that every morning and every night. David said, okay. Then Charlie and Sasha said, good night, David. As David was going back to bed, all comfy in his blankets, Itchy finally said, make your school teachers proud, David. And finally, Charlie, Sasha, and Itchy went back to sleep. And yet again, another night has passed by, and David is still dreaming. Now, it's December 18th, 1998. It is David's final day of school before winter break, and David takes the bus ride back home and notices something different when it comes to his habits of praying to God to see his biological mother for Christmas. He kept praying and praying and praying, but it was never enough for his father and his stepmother, even though Charlie, Itchy, and Sasha LaFleur made sure that he prayed every morning and every night. He was grounded for being too shy to sing some Christmas songs with the elementary school choir. The next day, he wakes up to hearing his parents arguing downstairs. David's stepmother starts the argument with, really? You're going to treat poor David like that? Because he was too shy to sing We Wish You a Merry Christmas or Jingle Bells? Then David's father replied with, yes, he deserves to be grounded. Haven't you seen this little shit? He's been running away from home constantly for over 2 goddamn years. David's stepmother then said, well, so what? He can't get along with his younger brother, and he's passing in most of his classes now. He has a B+ in English, an A- in math, an A+ in science, also a B+ in social studies, and the only class he is failing is choir, all because he refused to sing a song he was too shy to sing. That's ridiculous. Then David's father replied, no, it's not. He has to pass every single class, or else he gets absolutely nothing for Christmas. David's stepmother then says, why? That's petty. He should get at least something convenient for Christmas like a skateboard or a PS2 because David looks like he's bored to tears. David's father then said, No, 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 no. Fuck all that. Nothing. Then David's stepmother responds with, I've been paying all the bills for this damn house. I tried to be a good mother figure to David and his brother. I tried to be a kind and loving wife too. Then David's father replied with, I've been in the fucking Navy, served 33 years, almost died in Vietnam, and I have been a successful and busy father for a decade. And I get no respect? For what? A kid. A kid who can't even stay home without running away. Then David's stepmother replies with, I can't believe that you would do nothing for this kid. Just because you were in the military doesn't grant you the right to be a self-absorbed douchebag and an absolute deadbeat. Then David's father replied with, How dare you disrespect me, you un-American filthy old whore? David's stepmother slapped her husband in the face and asked, Do you want a divorce? Then David's father replied with, No, absolutely not. I just want to have obedient kids. David's stepmother emotionally responded with, Well then, why can't you just give David what he wants for Christmas, which is his biological mother, even though she has been dead for years? He's been praying to the Lord that on Christmas Day, he'll be able to see her. David's father then replied back with, I've been praying for him to see his mother again too, but the truth is, I really, really love him. I've seen friends of mine die in front of my face in combat. I almost got killed in Vietnam like I said before. Then David went downstairs and yelled, Stop it! Please just stop it! I can't take it anymore! Then David's father told David, If you can't seem to handle us being your parents, you better be running for your goddamn life, because that's what you keep on doing. David then replied with, Okay, well I guess I've done everything I could, and I believe that Charlie and Sasha failed me. I tried believing, but it's never enough for them, or especially you two. David's father finally responded back with, Aren't you gonna change? Because if not, I will teach you a lesson to help you change. So start running for your life. Now. Now! Then David starts running for his life as his father is chasing him all across the neighborhood. Hell, his father was chasing David all the way up to the Golden Gate Bridge and back. As David and his father that has been chasing him for a while bumped into a few people, including a mall Santa that stood outside the storeway saying Merry Christmas. And then David and his father that has been chasing him for such a long time finally came back home, and then the door slammed, never to hear from David ever again. Well, since David ran for his life, whatever really happened to him was his fate. David is gone, just like the 18,568,322 children in America, or in the real world. David too was slaughtered for not believing in Christmas. It was a rather simple process, but they had to go out farther in the woods to complete their slaughter. Then they had to head back to their homes with the stench of cadaverine, scatoli, and putrescine. But they were able to clean themselves back up, I'm sure of that. But they have 2 days until Christmas, but David's family is getting ready for a big family reunion feast on Christmas Day. But without David, now the others have to decide what to do with Timmy. Well, this has been a fact of life for David. Poor David did not make it, but Timmy managed to stay alive and keep the faith. I am Brian Mullins the Fox, your narrator, and I am out of here. Goodbye.